Now I'm going to be doing my little, not so little one actually, but with this one I'm going to be using these threads again, these braids again, same colours, and putting them in the same way like purple and then the teal, but only over this side, and I'm going to be capturing around it, so it's going to basically be going around, catching, and then once again doing a tuck curl, or tuck loop underneath, but more central in this area here. And I'm going to be using a mixture of fire polish beads, all different colours, but I think they go with it. It's all the sea colours as far as I'm concerned. So as they come out of there, is unless they're the same colour, that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. So first step, as usual, make sure my braids are going to be going the same way. They will be, simply because I've only folded that one over. It's going that way. That one's going to be going that way. I'm going to put them on top of each other, which we all know is so very easy to do. So I'm going to get a pin just to hold them in place for a couple of minutes while I once again, I also like to know to follow the same direction that this one's going. So it's going the open side that way. This just happens to be the wrong way, of course, because that's always the way, you know. That's going to go that way. So that'll be right. We'll be coming and curving around. So I'm working from the back. What I want to do first, I have no idea, to be honest with you. I'm going to put this about where the height of the bead. It doesn't matter really, because I can adjust it once I'm here. I just need to attach these braids to the back of the cab so that it gives me a nice place to start doing things from. Or even if I just attach it down here, this pin's going to be a pain. So what I'm going to do, I'm already coming out of braid down here. Down in the centre of it though. Now. Sorry, I have a huge knot. Okay. So what we're going to do is get these braids and attach them wherever you can through the middle. Another knot. Yep, that's the time we'll go. And I've got all this sticky tape over here. I'm just going to attach it. It doesn't matter which end you put either. I mean, you could have the looped end up this side, doesn't really matter. is all going to be the same in the end. Far too much cotton again. Okay, just make it to the outside. You're not going to be putting your beads here. The beads don't start till you get outside the cabochon area, so just be aware of that. What I'm trying to do is just attach these braids as well as I can to the main component. Gives me a better base to actually work when you start adding your beads. I'm also going to be going through the front of the cab, through the braids at the front. Okay, remember like I nearly didn't do last time? I just want to do that to make sure, if I can, because this is the glued one and it is just, oh, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I just want to make sure that it's as tight as I can make it and as secure as I can make it. Okay, I want to pull that up a little bit because I'm going to be goodness sake, like. Okay, so that's them all attached. Normally I like to attach beads from the bottom, from the inside to the outside, rather than trying to do from the outside in. I don't know why, but I find it easier. I know Jana does too. Whichever way you do it is right. Whatever way feels right for you. Okay? If you like to start from the outside here and do it all the way in, well, that's fine. Because it really does depend on how you're comfortable. I'm starting straight out, okay, with this one. I'm going from my outside to my inside because otherwise I'm going to lose where I need to put my bead. There we go, about there. I'm going to come into here on my loop, tuck, and get that sit in there, and then I'll start working my way around. I'm going to go back through and reinforce this a couple of times because it's right at the edge and it's in a bit of a tricky position. And I want to use the bead to sort of try and push this up a bit. That's better. So when I pull this down, I don't like how I've done there at all actually. I've got the bead sitting in the right spot, but this is all wrong. So I'm going to just curve it a little bit. see if I can get this fixed up. See, I'm sort of sitting a little bit. I want that to be more over there and then to come down. So that's sitting like that. So I'm gonna, I think Jan calls this damage control. I don't know if I can do damage control or whether I just need to pull it out and start again. Like the bullet, so to speak. However, I will try to avoid that at all costs. Mainly because I hate threading needles. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have all sorts of problems when I'm threading needles. Just while I play, trying to fix my bit of a gaffer. Knot in there that I just can't get rid of. I think that's sitting a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to come back through. The only way I'm going to find out is to continue on and see how it looks. So I'm going to pull down. There we go. And then we start just going around, picking up. I'm going to do it from the back at the first instance because this is where it sort of goes at this angle. So I'm going up through there, picking up a bead. Sort of an emerald green this time. Just put it on, and then I'm going to go about, oops, sorry, I've got to zoom out again, don't I? It's about there, and make sure I come out through the middle of my braids. I did that one wrong. So after all that, see, it's too much of a gap at the top here. So I'm going to unpull that. I do have to thread my needle again after all that. I know there are tricks to doing it. and I've tried most of them. Oh, look at that, it just went in so easy that time. But most times when I try to do it, it just doesn't want to work very well for me at all. Okay, I know these colours are quite hard to see and it's odd angles. Okay, so what I want to do is line up a bit better this time. I'll go for about there. It is possible to close the gaps a little bit, but you've got to sort of try and get it at least in the ballpark, so to speak. That's better. They're odd-shaped beads, fine polished ones, so I mean they're not going to sit without gaps because that's not how they work. Okay, go through. Make sure that's all nice and secure. Looks pretty terrible from the back actually, doesn't it? Okay, I'm going to go for the next one. Just go a little bit, put my hand in, and I get navy blue. Pull it down. Look at where you're going into your top braids. And yes, I'll go a bit closer on that one because that was really far out. So I'm going to go about there. And that's how it's sort of looking on the outside, on the right side, or whatever you want to call it. So hopefully you can all see that. Yeah, it's pretty dark, so don't expect too much. But that's basically what you're going to do all the way around. Now I'm going to just go back through that one again. This one the last time I worked on the wrong side. Up through the there's a yellow lemon. Once again, look at where the top of your bead is and the thread and everything else. And come out there. If it's a little bit of a gap, when you come back the second time, you can generally sort of straighten everything up, but if you can avoid it, why not do it, hey? Okay, and then we're just going to continue that all the way around until we get to here, right in there, basically. So I'm just going to continue and I'll be back shortly and show you the next piece. I'm going to have to do some damage control, a bit like Gianna was saying. I can't get this to go all the way in there with the bead and everything else. So what I'm going to do is actually bring it all just a little bit closer here. Okay, and then I can start my curve, and that'll make that sit just a little bit. I should make it sit a lot better. So I'm just going to be joining from one side to another. I can recommend not using a pretzel needle for this sort of thing because it just makes your life doubly difficult. I really want to go through those braids. I just want to go through the cords because they are really thick cords. This is the metallic cord, and I hate it. I have to tell you, it's so hard. I mean, it's nice when you're using it between the braids, but when it's by itself, it's just really hard to sew and frays really, really badly. That just is falling apart. Even with the sticky tape on, it's still falling apart. So there we go. I think that's pretty much closed up that gap. Yep, it's good. So my curve is going to be a bit more of a jump than a curve. See, it's going to be a bit tight, but so no, I don't think it really matters. Maybe I can use something that shape in there might be better. Eh? I don't really know what I'm going to be using in there yet. I'll check out what I can and haven't got, and then I might see if I can find a cube or something. Might be nice in there, just to take advantage of that shape that I have. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is what I found in my stash. It's a sort of a long cube, I don't know what you call them, but it sort of fits right in there. I'm going to tip it so that it's not actually following that, but more coming like that, and have this going around. But I think that looks pretty cool. It's sort of, I don't know, got purpley pink, and don't know whether I can get in close enough to show it. There it is. It's quite pretty. So that's what I'm going to use in there. So let's start the next step. Okay, so we're going to be doing a cube shape, so I can take advantage of my little faux pas here. I think this would be okay. So that's another one nearly finished. Bit of embellishment to be done on it, but is basically done. Well, actually a lot of embellishment to be done on it, but I'm just going to now tidy up the back here, stitch through these a little bit more, put some sticky tape on them, cut off this excess, and then I'll put it in my pile for the embellishing video, or videos probably, that I'll be doing. I'll talk about various bits. Another day, another idea. Whether I show you this, I don't know, but I did finish this up because I had that square piece here and I found this cube and put it in and then slept on it and decided I didn't like it after all. So I've just pulled it out. So that now is there. And I've started tucking this under, so it sort of finishes it off quite nicely, like that. But I've still got a bit of this here, and I sort of thought, okay, I could basically, I was fiddling, as I do. I looked at maybe putting an open-centered loop over here, which I didn't think was too bad. And messy that one is, but if you can imagine that it actually has a little bit more structure to it. Like that. But then I worried, because I've made a bit of a botch of the outside here, that I wouldn't be able to use any sort of embellishment there, because that sort of takes away from that. So what I've decided is I'm just going to loop this all the way around here, the back, and on the front I'm going to turn it into an open centered loop that sits like that, but quite large, and that way I can still put embellishment in here, but it sort of balances it a little bit more. Now it's not, I think it balances it. Hang on, I'll just get my hands out the way. Get this lined up a bit. Yeah, I think that'll look good. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. How to fix, this is like a damage control, I suppose. But I mean, I had to completely unpull and... Okay, so we're just going to loop it. So I want to get... Basically, I want to get this to come out about there, where my yellow fire polish bead is. So I'm just going to continue doing this. I want to still keep in the middle, because otherwise when you come out here, if you haven't done that, you'll end up with your braids not sitting properly. This is sort of making the foundation, it's a foundation work, I suppose. If the foundation works good, then the whole thing will work for you, hopefully. I just could have gone ahead and pretended this never happened, because it was on a separate video, but I figured, well, you need to know that if you do something and you go, oh gosh, I don't like that, you don't just throw it away and think that's the end of that one. You can make it so that it looks right. I also want to attach this here to the front a bit, just so that it doesn't flop around too much. I've attached it over here, but I need to attach it over this way as well, underneath my river leaf, and I never even checked. Lucky. Maybe. Make sure you check that you're coming out between the braids, which I was very lucky and did. Okay, and then just continue stitching your braids together to get to where you want to be. So you're curving it, doing your pre-curve sort of thing. Okay. Now, as I said, I cut this all off, so I'm working on very limited budget, so to speak, with my teal colour, but I want it to sit. So I'm just going to keep on doing a pre-curve on it. But now I'm going to be coming out here. I'm going to attach this to here. If I can get through, there we go. Just to make sure that this is nice and secure. I completely missed them, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to be coming this way anyway. Okay, just stitch through and find the tentacles. Curving it. We all know how to do that now, don't we? We're all experts at pre-curving by now. So only stitches around here. I don't think I'll be embellishing this one, so I've got to make sure that it looks nice and curved and doesn't have little puckers in it and everything else. Yep, there. So to that part there, a little bit higher even. Yeah, this one will be closed in. Okay, so just keep on curving it around. If I get my needle to go through. If you want to, you can get a bead and use it as a guide to get your, like if you have a nice big bead or even a button or something, like I've got a button here, that's probably about the right size. If you wanted to, you could just use that to guide you around. But I think I've gotten a bit better now, I hope. We'll find out when I get to the end, won't we? And just because you've stitched this doesn't mean that it hasn't got any movement. It won't stay in that position forever. It does pucker, but it won't. You can stretch it out a little bit to make it. It's just giving you a more to work with, I suppose. Don't think of it as the be all and end all. Now I'm stuck in that shape. You can move it out a little bit and make it into a shape that, or an arch, or whatever you want to call it, that sort of suits you a bit better. But now I'm getting into the sticky tap on that teal. And we all know how much I love that. So I'm going to turn it to the right side. And you can see this better than me. And that's basically what I want it to do. Go from there to there. Forming like an arch almost. And so I'll keep my finger on that. Now we're going to start attaching. We all know how to do that. And I'll probably go back. I didn't tighten that very well. I'll go back and just tighten this area up to make sure that it's nice and secure. Do it as much as you like. No one's ever going to see the back of this, by the way, remember that. So whatever you do at the back is not going to be seen. And take, as long as it gets you there in the end, that's all that really matters. Oops. And that's how it looks. So all I need to do now is just finishing attaching it. Put these together, tie them off, same as this, and cut it all off, and it's all ready to be backed and embellished. I think that looks a lot better, personally. Well, I think it does. It just sort of seems to, it's a bit more simple, but it's still, the other way looked a bit lopsided. Okay, thank you, bye.